Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and issue number 4 of Taskmaster. Master, where the dreams that I've been after? Master, Master, you promised only lies. Anyway, this was a really great book. It's got me going. Can you tell? I'm singing Metallica, like, during the time that Cliff Burton was with us. Anyway, dude, holy crap, this was really good. This was really good. What a huge difference from the first. Remember how I came down hard on the first issue. I'm like, this issue sucks. I pretty much said this issue sucks. I don't think I actually said those words, but if I didn't, the first issue sucked. All right. It's just been getting progressively better since then, man. I'm surprised at how Jed completely turned this around. A lot of people can't finish a book. I hope he's not somebody who can't finish a book. But I'll tell you what, he could definitely use some work on starting a book. I'm just putting it out there. I said it. It's out there. It's done. Let's talk about who made this comic book. Jed MacKay is the writer. I may have hinted at that. Alessandro Vitti does the art. Guru FX on colors. VC's Joe Caramagna on letters. Valerio Gian Giordano and Arif Prianto doing the covers, and Corey Smith and Maury Hollowell doing the variant cover. So Taskmaster does a halo jump into Wakanda. A halo jump means a jump out of an airplane above the clouds. A little different with the video game. That's like way above the clouds, but I guess it still counts because it's called Halo anyway. Does a halo jump into Wakanda and immediately claims asylum again to the well to what's her name, Okoye, the General Okoye, and the Hote Tata. I don't know how the hell it's pronounced. I don't speak Hosa, okay? But my point is that these dogs of war kind of capture him, but he clearly let them capture him, and he shows it later on, right? He takes a couple hits, but I mean, the dude's got superhuman reflexes. He has photographic reflexes. So it just takes a little while to get the ID, the imprint of the individual. This was a great book. If you're going to have a spy story, all right, what you got to do is you got to have a plan up front. You got to say what the plan is up front and lie your damn ass off, right? Promised only lies. And then show us the real plan later on. And I don't care how grand the plan is or not, but like do the full reveal. And that's exactly what happened in this issue. He wasn't really trying to claim asylum. He knew that nobody was going to claim asylum. And I'm sure that Nick Fury, who's behind all of this stuff, knows that Wakanda, more likely than not, did not go and retroactively sign the 1948 Hague Convention. Excuse me, the 1951 Hague Convention. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't one of the 148 countries, that's where the number 48 came from, that originally signed this document. No, 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 no. So they don't have any obligation to take refugees. You know what I'm saying? So instead, by not or asylum claimant, not a refugee. Anyway, you get my point. I hope he goes and he says a couple things about them, and they're all like, "Oh, how dare you? Well, we got to prove ourselves to our general." Now, Koye, she's a combatant, so she's all sorts of down for this. So the dogs of war get at it with Taskmaster. Taskmaster takes them to task. He whoops their asses. Oh, I love this, right? Plus, he has to get around the fact that they're wearing vibranium on certain parts of their bodies. So striking them isn't exactly going to work. Then he goes and gets into it with Okoye. This match happened pretty much exactly the way that I would expect it to happen. I don't want to get into spoilers, but I loves me some Wakanda, and nobody can go out like a chump. You know what I'm saying? You can't have Okoye going down like a punk. That can't happen. So what happened in this book was probably perfect, in my opinion. It's the best way to resolve this. Now, he definitely had a great option there. I will train your peeps. That would have been great. His comment in there, these guys are basically just henchmen, and I know henchmen. And yeah, he does. That was his job. For anybody who's not overly familiar with Taskmaster, there are two main important things to know about him. He has the superhuman ability of photographic reflexes, so he sees what you do. In a face rip game, it would be martial arts D. Hey, he sees what you do, and then he can copy it perfectly. Perfectly. The other thing is, with all that training he's got, he used to have a business where he would train henchmen. So all the thugs and the henchmen that would be, hired by Kingpin or whatever freaking group is out there, it could be Baron Zemo, it could be the Red Skull, it could be whoever. All these criminal organizations, they would usually go to Taskmaster's school, Tony Masters' school, and say, yeah, I need like 20 of your guys. He'd be like, oh, here's the top 20 students I have right now. Now let me go and train another top 20 or start working on the next 20 and make them my new top students, right? That's what he would do. And then, he would get some money for that training. This is who Taskmaster is. And by him saying something like this, it tells me that Jed MacKay knows the character. Now, throws you off again with that first issue where he's just a punk and he's screaming, oh my God, it's Black Widow. Give me a break. Give me a break. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying. Literally, all these, like, there's plenty of people in the Marvel Universe who are willing to kill. You know what I'm saying? He's more worried about Black Widow than he is about Elektra or than he is about Punisher, right? Come on. No, I'm just not buying that. I refuse to buy something like that. So, anyway, with him acting this way in this book, I thought it was pretty perfect. Tell me you do not have the Black Panther. Okay, good. No Black Panthers on the cover of this. I hate when covers lie. This is a very truthful, honest cover. I can't wait to see how the book is going to end because this issue ended way too quick. Way too quick. I wanted there to be so much more, but it didn't jip me on pages. It was a full book. The art inside was fantastic. There were things that happened that the art is going to explain more than any sound effect, and it's always weird seeing an elbow broken, or an arm broken at the elbow, right? It's usually not the elbow that actually breaks. Oh man, it's just nasty. But I love seeing a comic book that can actually portray that can actually show this, put on full display. The art team in here is just fantastic, Pretty much everything about this book right now. I'm loving this story. I'm probably gonna be sad when it ends. Hopefully, I'm not gonna be sad because the ending sucked. You know what I'm saying? Stick the ending. And I will not take back what I said about the beginning of this book, but I will say that beyond the shadow of a doubt, I am glad that I've been reading the book after such a horrible experience that I had with the first issue. It's very rare that there's a movie, like a sequel, that's better than the original story, right? You can say Empire Strikes Back, you can say a couple of different movies here and there, but it's very rare you can say that part 2 was better than the first, the major motion picture and whatnot. And oftentimes the same thing is with comic books. You read a first issue, you usually know the next issue is not going to be that good. I forget who it was, but whoever it was who said, please read the second issue because he goes up against Hyperion, and I want to know, what you thought about the ending. So, okay, and it was, like I said, it was the exact same thing that I thought was going to happen in issue 1. I mentioned in issue 1's review. Anyway, I'm glad that I kept on reading because the fights in here, very creative. Very, very creative. Now, hopefully the story, the conclusion of the story is going to be just as creative, but we got to get there to see, right? So when the next issue drops, I'll be right there, and I will have my gavel, and I'll be ready to declare judgment. By the way, that's my gavel. Mjolnir is my gavel. Don't mess with me, bruh. I'll bring the lightning. I'll bring the thunder. I will drop the hammer on your ass. All right, Jed MacKay, you better make sure. You better recognize, son, because I ain't playing. Anyway, this was a good book. Let's see if it could be followed up and concluded just as excellently. Talk to you guys later. Like the video on your way out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.